Hey mamas, welcome to today's workout. We've got a 15-minute second trimester cardio workout. Everything's going to be low impact, and we're going to work in intervals of 45 seconds with 15 seconds of rest. We've got 2 identical sets of work and a break in between. So just clear out some space. We're going to begin with a squat and reach, and I'll show you modifications just based on where you're at and your fitness level and pregnancy to make it work for you today. So we're going to take the feet nice and wide, reach toward the floor, or if you can, touch the floor, reach up, clap the hands overhead. So we're squatting down, reaching the floor, and then reaching overhead. Now, if you can't touch the floor, you can just reach toward the floor and squat as low as you can with good technique. And what I mean by that is you're initiating the movement from your hips, not your spine. You're sitting back and down into your hips, squeezing glutes to rise, standing tall with hips under shoulders, and you're maintaining a nice straight spine as you come down. You're not rounding your back, you're not arching your back, you're keeping that spine nice and neutral. And we're going to be moving quickly today through this. It's more of a cardio workout than strength, although we will get some strength benefits, especially when we work those legs. Now we're going to stay now toward the end of our mat, and we're going to shuffle across and punch across to the side. So I'll show you a low impact and a little bit more of an impact, but still low impact version. So you can stay light on those feet, shuffle, and then punch across. Just as much space as you've got. I don't want to go too far out of the camera here, so I'm just doing a little shuffle across. Now you can also do kind of more of a side step, but just keep the knees a little bit soft so we can keep more of that pressure in the legs. And on that punch, really rotate, so you can see I'm pivoting off my back foot, punching to the side. If you want a little bit more of a cardio kick, pick up those feet in that shuffle, but we're still keeping it nice and light, not too intense on the joints. Using that core to rotate and really letting that punch come from the core as you rotate. Perfect. And now we're going to stay in a squat and punch. So take your feet nice and wide. We're going to sit back in that squat and punch, alternating arms. So we want nice posture here, sitting back into that squat and just punch kind of at the diagonal here. We want to lead with those knuckles, punch about shoulder height, maybe a little bit higher. And you can see I'm not totally in a full squat here, but if you want to, you could get all the way down with your hips about knee level, or just a little bend in the knees to take more of that pressure out of the legs if you don't want to feel that intense burn in the legs. I get it. And you can pick up the pace. Again, the faster we punch, the more powerfully we punch from the core, rotating through those shoulders, the higher the heart rate's gonna go. But maybe that's not what you need today. Maybe you need a little bit slower paced workout, and that is perfectly fine too. Whatever works in your pregnancy, whatever helps you feel good and energized, not depleted. I want you to listen to your body. Okay, take your feet wide if they're not already. We're gonna do a posterior swing. So if you've done a kettlebell or a dumbbell swing, this is what we're gonna do with body weight. So clasp your hands together. We're gonna push the hips back, drive the hips forward, and stop with the arms about shoulder height. So you're pushing the hips back. It's a hinge, not a squat. So you're loading those glutes, pushing through the heels, squeezing glutes to stand up, and stopping here, not here. We don't want to overextend into the back. We want to stop where that tension is in the glutes and hamstrings. Same thing here. You can see I'm lengthening my hamstrings and glutes here, opening things up. I'm not squatting. It's different than a squat. So this is really great, like I said, for targeting the hamstrings, the glutes, the posterior chain, that back body, which a lot of times suffers in terms of strength and mobility throughout pregnancy. So we want to keep that nice and strong. Okay, next we've got a diagonal step jack. So we're going to step corner to corner in the front of the room. And I'll show you, again, some ways to make it harder or easier depending on what you're craving today. So arms overhead, just light step out and in on the diagonal. And again, you can pick up the pace, whatever your body is telling you today. I know for some, including myself, sometimes the second trimester or the first part of it, you still don't feel that good. So if that's you today, just take it slower, listen to your body. But usually the second trimester for a lot of us, at least when you're a couple of weeks in, you get your energy back, you maybe feel more like yourself, or feel like you could even think about exercising again or eating normal foods again. I don't know about most of you, but my diet consists of a lot of carbs and not a lot of protein, and I do the best I can, but I'm with you. If you're struggling, let me know in the comments. I'm with you. You do what you can. All right, now we're gonna do a stepping burpee. So I'll show you this from the side. So totally low impact. We're gonna squat down, reach for the floor. If you cannot reach for the floor in a squat, just carefully come down as low as you can without arching your back. Hands on the ground, step back, both feet, step in, both feet, stand up, clap the hands together. Let's repeat that. So hands on the ground, out, in, exhale, clap the hands. And now we're gonna start to pick up the speed. Now, I want you to make sure as you do that, you're not rounding your back to get toward the floor. If you're having trouble reaching, just kind of go as carefully as you can down. And if you're not feeling getting up and down on the floor, just give me some more squats. You don't have to do this exercise. Make sure you brace that core when you're in your plank to keep that core nice and engaged. All right, we're gonna go to a lunge with a knee drive, but that part of the pregnancy too, where I'm wearing normal clothes, but like they're folding over. So lunge with a knee drive. I'll show you this from the side. We're gonna start with that right leg back. So we're gonna lunge and then bring that knee up, opposite hand comes forward. So we're using the hands to create a little bit of dynamic movement, momentum. Lunge 90 degrees at the knees and then balancing on that front foot, bringing that knee up. Now, the bigger your bump is, you might not be able to bring your knee up as high. That's totally fine. You might just tap the toe. That'd be a great modification. You might not want to go all the way down in a lunge. In that case, back and forward. A little more cardio, you could speed it up. Lots of options to be successful no matter where you're at in your pregnancy, your fitness level. This workout would work for all trimesters. I just happen to create them for each trimester. So you could keep doing this one, but I really like this for second trimester. A little more cardio, but still pregnancy friendly. Okay, we're gonna switch legs. So we're doing that same exercise, other leg. This one really does it for me. And for most of us, we're gonna feel like more out of breath when we're working those legs because it's sending that right to your heart. So that heart rate's gonna go up. But again, if that's not for you today, you can lunge and tap. You can do a half lunge and just speed it up here. Do a little bit of a tap back and step in. Really focusing on that balance here, trying not to lean back too much. Use that core for stability. And if you're like me in your second trimester, especially if it's your second, or for me, it's my third pregnancy, I really feel like it's getting harder already to connect to my abs. So we really want to keep using that breath as best as we can to help engage that deep core and pelvic floor throughout pregnancy. That's going to help us stay strong and keep us on the right trajectory and accelerate our core healing postpartum. All right, we're still in our break. So we've got another 15 seconds. Take some breaths, deep breaths. Try to calm nervous system, let the heart rate come down a bit. We're gonna begin from the top. So squat, reach. Take your feet wide, toes out slightly, reach, and then lift. Again, don't compensate by leaning forward. Sit into the hips. And again, you don't have to touch the floor. You don't even have to go into a full squat. If you want a little more cardio, you can move faster and you don't even have to hit the full squat. But you will still get those cardio benefits. Again, because when we load the legs, it increases that heart rate and gets us a nice calorie burn. In the second set, we're already feeling a little bit out of breath, right? Even in general, if you're pregnant, you're already out of breath, just doing normal things, right? Rest. All right, shuffle with the punch. Let's start on the opposite end of the mat. It's good for your brain pathways to kind of switch things up. Maybe you always start with the same leg, start on the same side, switch it up, challenge your brain especially during pregnancy. That pregnancy brain is real. Shuffle across. This time, try to get a little more power on that punch by pivoting off that back foot, driving that hip to the wall. Maybe even stay a little bit lower, getting a little more leg work. But again, if you want to take the skip or the shuffle out, not skip. I'm not skipping during pregnancy, that's for sure. No skipping or running for me. This is about as much impact as I want to do. Good. All right. Moving on to that static squat with a punch. So again, feet wide, you can go as low or as high as you want in that squat. Deep breaths. If you need longer breaks, feel free to take them as well. All right, let's go. Shoulder height or above, slightly above. Keeping that chest up, hips back. Even if you're not in a deep squat, we still want to initiate pushing the hips back to load those legs and for stability to protect the spine. Getting that little bit of rotation through the trunk, through the shoulders, the sternum, corner to corner on that punch. I'm gonna go a little bit lower for the last part of this exercise. We only got 13 seconds. So try to give a little more power on that punch. See if you can go just a hair lower. I know it burns, but we're almost there. Whew. All right, back to the posterior swings. So I'm gonna demo from the side again. Feet wide, toes out slightly, hands clasp. We're gonna push those hips back, lengthen the hamstrings, squeeze the glutes to come up. So if you've ever done these with a kettlebell, you know that weight, you've got to thrust your hips forward to get that weight to come up. For basically, you're working against gravity on the kettlebell swing. So picture you've got a kettlebell and you're trying to get it up to your shoulders. You've really got to drive those hips. You really got to push back and pop up quickly, pushing out of those heels, using your exhale. 10 seconds left. Can you maintain that speed or pick it up just a little bit? Good work. All right, we're going back to that diagonal jack now. So make sure you have space to come corner to corner in the front. We only got about 3.5 minutes left of the workout. Let's do it. So corner to corner, light on those feet. If you really want to jump, you absolutely could. It's not for me. At this point, a lot of the bouncing movements, my body does not like that during pregnancy. So running, little light bouncing, I try to avoid that personally just because of nausea and just discomfort. But you do what works for you. If you feel good doing that, add the little jump. But even adding big movements like arm movements with legs, that's really going to help drive up that heart rate without having to make it high impact. And that's what I love about these workouts. You don't have to do any of the jumping or bouncing to get that benefit, that cardiovascular benefit. Okay, back to the stepping burpee. So again, if you don't want to do the coming on the ground and up and down off the floor, that's fine. Do squats, or you could even do some push-ups as an alternative. All right, squat down, hands on the floor, step back, step in, hands up. Try to alternate the feet you step out and in with. And the wider you take them, the easier it will be in terms of getting down into your squat. And again, depending on the size of your bump, you may need to take your feet really wide to accommodate, to get down into that position. Shoulders are starting to burn. This is a full body exercise here. Rest. Okay, lunge with the knee drive. So from the side, we're going to start with the right leg and stay on that right leg. Then we'll switch for the next interval. 2 more. That's all we got left. Let's do it. Push through that front heel. Drive that back knee forward and up. Man, this one's tough. But it's really great for building that muscular endurance, that cardio endurance. Again, pregnancy is a fitness event, so adding a workout is just like a bonus, but it's gonna help us improve our resilience and our endurance for pregnancy if we can do some cardio training, even once a week, even for 10, 15 minutes. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. That's why I created all these workouts, to be shorter, doable, things you can do at home while your other kids are napping, if you're just short on time, so you feel like you can accomplish something, because you are. Even in a short amount of time, you can reap huge benefits. And especially during pregnancy, you want workouts that are going to energize you, not deplete you, and usually that means not working out for an hour and not doing things that are super intense. But just because it's not high impact or an hour doesn't mean it's not challenging. This is challenging. Last 5 seconds. Whew. We made it. 15 minutes, that's all you need. And if you love cardio and do it on the reg, I feel like this workout is still gonna push you and challenge you. It at least did me, especially during pregnancy with that elevation of the heart rate in general. But I hope you guys are feeling good in your second trimester. Again, be sure to check out my playlists. I've got one for each trimester with a variety of workouts, low impact, minimal equipment, 10 to 15 minutes that are gonna help you stay strong and healthy throughout your pregnancy. So I'll see you back here for our next workout together.